Planet Earth, a world governed by the brutal laws of nature. Observe the accidental migration pattern of the Homo sapien, Chatus maximus. Plunged through a vortex into the 13th century, he does not flee. When captured, he bides his time, lying in wait for his chance to establish dominance. Having dispatched a rival threat, the specimen is swiftly accepted by the natives. This apex predator attaches a combustion-powered cutting implement onto his own severed wrist, a behavior unique to mature males of the species. His talent for violence grants him immediate status within the tribe, leading finally to the mating ritual. He locks eyes with the desired female and utters an ancient, irresistible mating call of his people.
Give me some sugar, baby.
The response is instantaneous. She's rendered utterly powerless against the jawline. As always, natural selection has spoken.
Hail to the king, baby.
What's up, freaks? Welcome to The Laughing Dead, your Kandarian retreat from the Deadite Horde. I'm your host, Ethan, and tonight, we're talking about the single greatest action horror hero to ever grace the silver screen, and the film that proved to the world once and for all that Ash Williams is a f***ing unit. Army of Darkness was released in February of 1993, the third installation in the original Evil Dead trilogy. Fraught with production issues and studio interference, the movie had originally been slated for a summer release in 1992, but was delayed due to a legal dispute between Universal Studios and producer Dino De Laurentiis. And look, this is a long, convoluted tale, but in a nutshell, Dino still held the rights to the character Hannibal Lecter after producing Manhunter, the first movie adaptation of author Thomas Harris's books. And while Manhunter was a flop, Silence of the Lambs was not, and Universal Studios wanted a piece of that cannibal pie. So in classic studio form, the greedy assholes at Universal not only held Army of Darkness hostage, but they forced a completely different ending on the creators and purposely underfunded post-production, resulting in some less than perfect edits. With a budget of $11 million, the movie barely broke even with $11.5 in the domestic box office, and about $21 million worldwide. But despite all that adversity, Army of Darkness stormed onto the scene and became an instant cult classic with a devoted fan base to this day. So whether you're a highly trained demon hunting aficionado, or just looking for a laugh, hold on to your crucifix, cause we're jumping right in. The movie opens with our hero Ash captured and in chains.
My name is Ash, and I am a slave.
Yeah, we get it, pal. But the big looming question is, how the hell did we get here? Well, don't you worry your pretty little heads. For those of you who aren't familiar with Evil Dead 1 and 2, I'll do my best to bring you up to speed. In the first Evil Dead, Ash brings his girlfriend Linda and some friends up to a remote cabin, where he's forced to murder and dismember them all. In Evil Dead 2, Ash brings his girlfriend Linda and some friends to a remote cabin where he's forced to murder and dismember them all. But this time, it's funny. Wait just one goddamn minute. They did the same movie twice? Yeah, pretty much, but also no. So, basically, you gotta treat it like the first third of Evil Dead 2 is kind of a soft reboot of the first movie. Since they had no rights to that original footage, they couldn't use it as a recap. But none of that is nearly as important as the book itself. The Necronomicon is the source of all of Ash's problems. First off, it possesses his girlfriends like f***ing clockwork. This dude hasn't had a female in his life that he didn't have to butcher with a chainsaw since like 1981. Not to mention his hand. See, Ash gets a touch of the possession in his right hand after a deadite bite, so he cut the f***er off, resulting in the little shit scurrying around, causing all kinds of trouble. It's like Thing from the Addams Family, but evil! At the end of Evil Dead 2, Ash seems to have survived the night, largely due to his shotgun and sick chainsaw hand, but the book isn't done with him yet. Just before the credits, Ash gets sucked into a gnarly blue vortex, and the saga continues. Bada bing bada boom, now you're all caught up. So, the vortex spits Ash out in 13th century England, and while the locals take a minute to warm up to our hero, before you know it, talent recognizes talent, and Ash is living like a king. He's got a whole team of babes keeping him fed, and better yet, he's got the attention of Sheila, the biggest babe in town. Except all this pampering and new threads comes with a little catch. To save the people of Kandar and return to his own time, Ash must quest for the book. Many have sought for the Book of the Dead. Most were consumed. Some were driven mad. For the path to the Necronomicon is lined with many trials. Adventurers must be prepared to brave their deepest fears and face the darkness that lies within us all. And should that darkness manifest and emerge from the flesh, a struggle must be fought. The manifestation must be destroyed completely and buried deep in that cursed earth.
What's that you got on your face?
Only then will the Necronomicon reveal itself. But be wary, brave traveler, for peril still lurks in this final task. Choose carefully from these tomes, and take care to speak the incantation clearly. To falter by a single breath is to invite absolute ruin.
Klaatu! Marada!
The graves will heave, the ancient dead will answer, and an army of cold calcified wrath will crawl from the earth and drag the world into the abyss. You guys really thought Ash would do things your way?
You're the dumbest idiot ever.
Before you know it, Ash is back at the castle, demanding to be sent home. And the people of Kandar are heartbroken, you know? Their champion has failed them, and now he wants to bail on them as well. The mood is glum, and the night is dark, when a winged demon arrives and snatches up Ash's girl like my neighbor's Pomeranian.
Hey, no! Let him go!
Damn you! She's delivered to Evil Ash, General of the Dam, where she's...
Give me some sugar, baby.
mistreated and turned into Evil Sheila. Back at the castle, Ash is finally ready to step up. He rallies what's left of Lord Arthur's men and sets to the task of preparing them to deal with Deadites. And despite being a fucking blockhead in every other aspect of life, Ash proves himself to be an amateur chemist, a mechanical engineer, and a top-level combative expert. He whips these boys into shape as much as time will allow, but before you know it, the dead are marching on Kandar. And I gotta say, man, this is one of my favorite practical effects feats possibly ever. And it's a fucking tragedy that they shortchanged them on post-production. As the dead storm the walls, they're detonated in spectacular fashion. The living fight valiantly, but the gates are quickly breached by the dead. With the odds stacked against them, outnumbered 1,000 to 1, the final battle ensues. With tact and guile, Ash locks horns with his evil doppelganger, and Deadite rules apply. No matter how many times Evil Ash is skewered, slashed, and stabbed, he just keeps coming. Even after he's set ablaze, it just fucking unlocks Skeleton Ash.
I got a bone to pick with you.
Which is fucking glorious, and I mean that. In the end, Ash bests the tainted copy, sends him for a little ride that ends in a bang. And this is the moment that breaks the Ash Williams mold. For the first time since that fateful night in a creepy cabin in the woods, Ash was able to save the woman he loves. Evil Sheila? Well, she's back to fine Ash Sheila. God bless Kandar. With the world saved, our hero just needs to drink a magic potion, say a couple words, take his ass home. Simple, right? Well, depending on which version of the movie you watch, this is where Sam Raimi and those Universal executives had their final showdown. If you watch the director's original vision, which would be the director's cut, one of like 4 edits of this movie, Ash miscounts the drops of his sleeping potion, sleeps way too long, and wakes up in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. It's purely tragic comedy, classic Evil Dead irony, and Raimi actually wanted to use it to set up a Mad Max-style sequel, but Universal thought that shit was too depressing and dark for the normies. They forced Raimi to shoot the theatrical version, the one that I grew up on, the S-Mart ending. Ash gets back to his retail job, gets back to doing Ash stuff, and immediately gets interrupted by a pissed-off Deadite customer in homewares. He smokes the Deadite with ease and delivers the most iconic line in action horror history.
Hail to the king, baby.
Final thoughts! I want to know where you guys stand. Are you team post-apocalypse or team S-Mart? Drop a comment below, let me know which timeline is your definitive canon. I love that the apocalypse ending exists, and I truly respect the overall vision. It actually, I think, fits Ash's arc as a character a little bit better. But at the end of the day, my nostalgia is just too strong for the one that I grew up on, S-Mart. If you liked the video, smash that like button like it's a severed hand scurrying across the floor. And subscribe to The Laughing Dead for more of the finest cult horror deep dives. Until the next time, keep them scary flicks rolling. And remember, if you laugh when others scream, you found your home. This has been The Laughing Dead. Thanks for tuning in.
You shall die!